attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jeffrey,
Who is that?
It's Jeff Hole, Your Honor.
All right. State ready to proceed?
Yes, Judge. What's the case number on this one? Just one more time.
665126.
We're ready, Judge.
Okie dokie. I'll be right with you. All right, Kayleen. After making all that racket,
Already did three.
I'm gonna put you to work.
yes, sir, I'm ready.
At this time, the court calls case number 665126, State versus.
I don't know. I don't know if there's, I hadn't said I gave Shannon my number. Jana, my.
Are we gonna proceed now? All right. State versus Monica Marie Bell. Defense, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense is ready.
State's ready. Ms. Bell, would you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Put your hand down. Ms. Bell, I am informed that you intend to, and I've seen paperwork that says that you're going to enter a plea today.
That's, yes.
Before we do that, I'm going to inform you and remind you of certain particular constitutional rights and protections that you have. First of all, you have the right to remain silent. That means you don't have to make any kind of statement. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to submit written paperwork that has your signature, especially if the papers admit or confess to wrongdoing. That's the right to remain silent. You understand you have that right?
Yes.
You have the right to a jury trial. That means you and your attorney and the state could select 6 people from a jury pool of disinterested citizens who would hear the entire trial and decide whether you're not guilty or whether you've been proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. That's called the right to a jury trial. You understand you have that right?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to confront witnesses. If you decided to have a trial, people would come in to testify to prove the case or try to prove the case. That means that you would have the right to question, challenge, or cross-examine any witness who would testify. That's the right of confrontation. You understand you have that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's also a right called the right to appeal. That means you or your attorney or the two of you could demand that a higher court review the official record of this proceeding and the evidence and all the information that's available in this case. That right you have to be careful with because it requires time limitations and form and substance of the paperwork. You understand that this would be for legal challenges and you'd have the right to do that. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Finally, there's also the right that you and the state have the right to demand that this proceeding be held in the open courtroom. In this instance, in order to proceed, it would require that you and the state consent to having this proceeding on the video conference as we are doing. Now, did you see and understand that you have that right?
Yes.
All right. Now, in order to proceed, you have reviewed documents with your attorney and you have signed them. Is that correct?
Correct.
The documents that you signed, you did understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any questions that are not answered?
No, sir.
All right. The first document that I'll raise is one that there's one for you and one for the state. It's called consent to video conference. Did you review that with your attorney and sign it?
I did.
Also, Mr. Holt, did you sign a document that attests to your belief that you and the state have complied with the Article 39.14 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure by way of discovery?
Yes, I believe I did, Judge. And I have no concerns about discovery in this case.
All right, did you also review the documents that bear your signature and that of your client?
Yep.
Did you review them with her and answer any questions she had?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it your opinion that those documents that she signed, she did understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bell, an important document, a little bit complex, is called Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. Now, I talked to you a while ago on a record that's being prepared by Ms. Kayleen Rivera, my court reporter. I talked to you about it and it is recorded by the reporter. But this document has it in writing. It talks about your right to the right to silence, right to jury, all these things that we discussed, but this is in writing. It also tells you in there that whatever deal you've made with the state, I do not have to approve it. As the judge, I have the authority and responsibility. I must say yes or no to your deal. I can also give you any punishment in the range of punishment for the offense that's charged against you. And even if I give you a heavier punishment than you agreed to, I can do that. But if I refuse your deal or I reject it, or if I give you a punishment that's greater than what you agreed to, then in that case, in either case, the law would allow you to start all over again and nothing that you said or signed would be used against you. Is that understood?
It's understood.
In that document, you did sign it?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, there's another document. This is going to be ultimately a plea of what, Mr. Ho?
Judge, the state is waiving the enhancement of 0.15 or above, and she is pleading to a Class B DWI. No contest.
All right. Ms. Bell, it's my understanding that, well, let's go properly. State, you have a motion?
Judge, we would just move to waive the extreme intoxication enhancement.
Defense, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Bell, that means that your attorney has obtained an agreement that you're no longer going to be charged with extreme intoxication, which is an enhanced charge. Instead, you'll be pleading to simple DWI misdemeanor B. That means that the range of punishment will be a fine from $0 to $2,000 and jail from the minimum 72 hours to 180 days. Do you understand that that's the result of that motion, which has just been done?
Yes, sir.
All right. So state, what is the agreement?
Judge, the agreement in this case is a $500 fine plus court costs, 180 days Bexar County Jail, probated over 16 months, DWI education, Victim Impact Panel Live, the TAP evaluation, ignition interlock for half the term, 48 community service hours, and restitution, if any, to Tracy Wright.
Spell those names.
Tracy is T-R-A-C-Y. Wright, W-R-I-G-H-T.
All right. Now, Ms. Bell, how are you employed, or how do you support yourself?
Currently, I am unemployed and my husband supports me. He's a retired military, so it's a fixed income. Would you like to know more details about our income? his income rather.
Well, it is his income per se.
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you were employed, ma'am?
Was in 2017.
Oh, okay, so it's not a recent COVID thing, it's a
No,
choice.
sir. Right.
right.
My husband has been ill, and I stay home and I look after him and administer his
What-
medications and everything.
What kind of income does he have as a retired member of the military? And by the way, thank him for his service.
Absolutely. His income is $2,500. That's from military and civil service as well. Our expenses to include rent and utilities equal out to $2,025, which leaves us a little under $400 for food and medications, gas, etc.
Okay.
Judge, if I may be heard, or if you'd like me to wait, I can, Your Honor.
Wait till I finish this.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Holt, as far as the announcement by the state concerning the agreement, is that the agreement that has been reached?
Judge, everything sounded correct. The state had put a $50 Crime Stoppers fee in their offer. I didn't hear that recited. I'm not sure if that was just an omission. And then I believe they had agreed if the court would allow to probate the fine due to her financial circumstances.
State, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
All right. Then, Ms. Bell, officially, what is your plea to the charge of DWI misdemeanor B?
No contest.
You understand that a no contest plea in this court is considered a guilty plea and is sufficient for me to convict you. Ma'am?
I think you muted yourself, Monica.
Did you hear my question, Ms. Bell?
I can see her lips moving, Your Honor. I just
know,
don't.
I can too. Ms. Bell, if I ask you a question, if the answer is yes, put up one finger. If it's no, put up two fingers until we're able to hear you verbally. That will be sufficient. Do you understand my question? One finger is yes.
No, she may not
I
have
don't
audio.
think she can even hear me, huh?
It doesn't appear so.
Doggone it, we've lost her. We can see her, but we can't hear her. Can you hear me, Ms. Bell? Nope. Jeff, I frequently repeat my favorite expression. To err
Oh, I
is
can hear.
human. To forgive.
I can hear
divine.
everyone now.
Oh, Ms. Bell, I think we've got you back now.
Yes, sir. I can hear everyone now.
All right, officially, your plea to the charge of DWI misdemeanor B is no contest, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And did you hear the state and your attorney talk about the punishment that has been agreed on?
I did not. I did not hear that part. I'm sorry.
All right. The fine is a fine of $500 plus court costs. It's my understanding that that is to be fully probated. Now, probated means suspended, and it will not take effect if you live up to 100% of the conditions of supervision. If you violate the conditions of supervision, then the state may ask me to bring you in after an official notice and have a hearing, at which time I can impose the entire sentence. Is that understood?
Understood.
All right, so the sentence is 180 days, probated or suspended for 16 months. You'll complete in good faith the DWI education program, the Victim Impact Panel Live. You'll submit to a TAP evaluation. You'll have ignition interlock installed in your vehicle for 8 consecutive months. During those 8 consecutive months, you're not to drive any vehicle other than your vehicle that has ignition interlock installed. You will perform 48 hours of community service restitution. In addition, you will pay restitution to Tracy Wright, if any, and that'll be determined by the probation department. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your supervisory fee, I will set at $25 a month, which is the minimum.
Thank you.
Any questions, Ms. Bell?
No, sir. Everything was explained very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll need you to stick around. I don't want you to leave. I will have you meet on what's called a breakout room with Ms. Maricela Luna. She's the officer that will explain to you, excuse me, the details and the steps for the probation system. Ultimately, the probation department is going to read to you all of the conditions of supervision. You will sign those and you'll have a copy put in your hands. You are also ordered to appear in the offices of County Court at Law Number 5 for the purpose of having your thumbprint placed on the documents that require that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Will I be receiving that information in an email?
No, that is part of what you're being ordered to do right now. As far as the paperwork, you have to go to the offices of County Court 5 in the hallway behind the courtroom. If there was a $50 Crime Stoppers order, I am not putting that as part of the conditions. I think you have a tight enough budget without adding to it in any form or fashion. I would
Yes, sir.
suggest,
Thank
do
you.
you have any children, ma'am?
I do not.
All right. Well, I'll suggest to you that you don't want to get into this kind of trouble again.
Yes, sir.
First of all, you don't have the money to be out drinking to the point that you become extremely intoxicated. And secondly, drinking and driving to the point of intoxication creates a danger. I think over the weekend or last Monday, maybe Sunday, a 17-year-old kid killed 3 people. Allegedly, they're saying he was intoxicated.
I understand.
It can happen, ma'am.
Yes, yes, sir.
All right. So any further questions, Ms. Bell?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ho,
Your Honor, just briefly, if I may.
I'm listening.
Okay, on the application for probation, I just wanted the court and this to be on the record. I had filled that part out and put that she had not had a prior felony. That was not accurate. I just didn't want the court to think she filled that out. She did sign it, and I let her know that I made that mistake. She did have some felonies from a long time ago, but that was not her that did that. And I don't know if that can be amended or if it's just sufficient that it's on the record, Your Honor.
Patricia? Ms.
Yes, Judge.
Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Have the clerk scratch out or black out the portion that says that she does not have a prior felony history and put my initials on that.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to come back and haunt her later on. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. And if she does have any financial hardship going forward in terms of fees on probation, can she approach her probation officer and discuss that with them?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okie doke.
Thank you.
You guys are excused. Don't forget, ma'am, that you have to wait and visit with Ms. Luna.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Hall, you're excused unless you're gonna stick around with Ms. Bell, but that's your choice.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
We have anybody else got their pleas ready, Patricia?
I'm not sure Mr. Oltersdorf is still on the phone.
Okay,
He
well,
said
we're
he
coming up
was-
to, we have a judges meeting at 12 o'clock, so 12:15 actually.
All right, Mr. Judge, Mr. Humberto Saldaña III has information for you regarding his client's case.
And I'm sure Mr. Saldana and I appreciates from both of us that we enunciate his name, Alberto Saldana III.
Judge, I'm sorry. I wanted to see if we could get a reset. Unfortunately, we're at an impasse. I've conveyed the new offer to my client and she's declined it. And so unfortunately, I need a reset. I
No
was
problem.
hopeful that we could get
the
something
case
done
number?
today, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen.
Okay, what's the case number?
It is 618, I believe it's 226. Yeah, 618-226.
All right,
Rhonda De La Cruz.
all right. R00 NDA? How much time you are requesting?
Judge, 2 months if possible.
Let's give you 45 days and we'll see how that pans out.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Questions, Ms. De La Cruz?
So what day would that be, Your Honor, to come back?
Let's see. Just hang on momentarily. Ms. Garcia will give us a date.
It's Monday, November 15th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Saldana, Ms. De La Cruz, y'all are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Stay safe. Ms. Haas, Ms. Reed, Pollard, how are y'all doing?
Good, Your Honor. How are you this morning?
Y'all had a bunch of people to confer with today, huh?
We did.